There's no area undergoing more change in San Francisco right now than the Mission Bay neighborhood near the city's central waterfront, from a brand new arena and its surrounding food and retail offerings to one of the largest mixed-use communities in San Francisco history to massive new office leases. The area is completely transforming from its industrial beginnings. Mission Bay is at the forefront of San Francisco future, and if the future is anything like what's being implemented and what's being developed there right now, the future looks pretty bright. I'm Austin Klar, your lawyer turned real estate agent in San Francisco and Marin County, and in this video, I'm going to do a deep dive into all things Mission Bay, what the lifestyle is like there, how much housing costs there, so you have everything you need to know in one place if you're thinking about relocating to the area. So let's get right to it, and the first thing I want to talk about is where Mission Bay is located, because its location is pretty special. Mission Bay is an over 300-acre neighborhood located on the east side of San Francisco, directly bordering the San Francisco Bay. It's super close to both the 80 and 280 highways, making it really convenient if you need to travel to the East Bay or to the South Bay for work, or if you need to get to like SFO or Oakland airports if you're going away for a work trip or maybe a vacation. Also, if you live in Mission Bay, it's really convenient to get to downtown San Francisco and all the big office buildings in SoMa and near Market Street. So, if you work at a law firm, or if you work in tech, or if you work in finance, or any of these big companies that have offices in these big office buildings, you're probably going to be walking distance to those. It would take between 10 and 20 minutes to get to pretty much anywhere in downtown San Francisco by foot, and it's an entirely flat walk to get over there, which is great. And walkability here is a huge plus because of its location near the central waterfront. It has some of San Francisco's best weather. The cold fronts that come in, the fog fronts that come in from the Pacific Ocean on the opposite side of the city, you don't get that on this side of the city. It breaks a long time before it gets to this side of the city. So it tends to be sometimes even like 10 plus degrees warmer on this side of the city than it does on the west side of the city closer to the Pacific Ocean. So that makes walking around the area phenomenal. And that's doubly great because there's so much to do within walking distance in and around Mission Bay. Things like Oracle Park, the Chase Center and Thrive City, and multiple new park spaces, all of which I'm going to show you in a minute. Mission Bay was originally an industrial center, a transit corridor, given its close proximity to the water. But in the late 20th century, it started to transform and redevelop into the more modern destination and living destination that it is today. And because it's one of the newer neighborhoods in San Francisco, the housing stock here, generally speaking, is a lot newer. It's more modern. You see a lot more glass, mid, high-rise buildings, condo buildings, converted loft-style buildings, some of them with great amenities like rooftops and gyms and doormen and like lounge spaces, things like that. You're not really going to get a lot of old, traditional single-family like Victorian or Edwardian homes on this side of the city. It is much more newer build, modern condo-style, apartment-style living. So if you want an amenity building and you want that condo lifestyle, but you don't want to live like right in downtown San Francisco or in SoMa, Mission Bay should definitely be on your radar because there's a ton to do around here. By the way, if you want to learn more about what it's like living in San Francisco or Marin County, new developments, things that are coming soon, activities, food, housing tours, housing market updates, all of that stuff. I make videos about all of that every single week, so make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you're thinking about relocating and having trouble figuring out what neighborhood is the exact right neighborhood for you, definitely reach out to me. I moved to the Bay Area over a decade ago to work as a lawyer at one of the biggest law firms in the world before getting into real estate. And since getting into real estate, I've helped so many people move all over SF and Marin from all over the country, and I'd be happy to be a resource for you as well. I'll leave my contact information in the description below. Definitely reach out anytime. Now, I want to get back to Mission Bay and tell you all about the incredible amenities that come with living in Mission Bay, because that is the best part about living here. If you live in Mission Bay, you are walking distance to two incredible stadiums and all the great bars and restaurants surrounding them, Chase Center and Oracle Park. Oracle Park is where the SF Giants play, and there are some great spots nearby. My favorite is 21st Amendment. It's a great brewery with outdoor seating, great way to pregame before going to a Giants game. I used to live right across the street from Oracle Park, close to 21st Amendment at the Beacon, which is one of the larger mixed-use communities on this side of the city. It had a pool, hot tub, gym, catering kitchen, security, like attended doormen, lobbies, really big amenity complex, walking distance to so many great bars and food nearby, really fun place to live. The main downside, though, of living in the area and living that close to the ballpark is traffic. On game days, it is outrageously difficult to get around. So whether you're going to the game or not, if you need to travel around that area to get to your destination, you just need to be ready for a ton of traffic. And that traffic's probably been made a little bit worse since the Chase Center opened up down the road, which is where the Golden State Warriors play, also located in Mission Bay. Except I think the Chase Center and everything around it is so awesome, it more than outweighs the downside of traffic. The Chase Center and the surrounding complex called Thrive City is one of the nicest new arenas and complexes, not just in San Francisco, but in the entire country. And they have an incredible lineup of new food and drink vendors that are coming into the area, servicing the people that live and travel to Mission Bay. One of my favorite pizza spots in the city, K Fico, just opened a new pizzeria there. Their sourdough crust is like A++, definitely worth trying if you haven't been. Another Italian staple in San Francisco, Flour and Water, is opening a location at Thrive City. Baked Bear, which makes incredible ice cream sandwiches, has a location there. And there are a ton of other restaurants, bars, and shops that are already there and that are coming soon. The one that I'm most excited about is called Splash. It's a 30,000 square foot indoor-outdoor, basically sports bar. They're going to have like Pop-A-Shot basketball, virtual golf, pool, table, shuffleboard, foosball, all those kinds of like traditional bar type games and arcade type games. They're also going to have an 840 square foot curved LED wall for you to be able to watch games from, also 75 screens throughout the indoor-outdoor space. It's going to be an awesome sports bar, so you don't even need to go to the Chase Center to watch a game. You can watch it at Splash. They also hold fitness classes throughout Thrive City, so it's a really cool like mixed-use space. It's not just restaurants and bars. They have activities there as well. And remember, it's not just the Warriors who play at Chase Center. You've got a ton of concerts, stand-up comedy, and a bunch of other shows that happen at Chase Center as well. So you don't need to love basketball to enjoy the Chase Center. They did a great job of drawing people in, taking advantage of the space they have by offering a ton of different things. And there are also a bunch of grocery stores nearby. There's a Whole Foods in the area, there's a Safeway in the area, there's a Gus's Community Market, which has a great deli in the area. So you have both big name and like more boutique-y style grocery stores servicing all different parts of Mission Bay. And that's basically what's here right now. There is so much more coming soon, both around Oracle Park and the Chase Center in Thrive City. So one of the main reasons why I think Mission Bay, not only a great place to live now, but is going to get even better as time goes on. And those new amenities that are coming along with some of the largest mixed-use developments in San Francisco's history, all happening in and immediately surrounding Mission Bay along the city's central waterfront. The San Francisco Giants are partnering with developer Tishman Speyer to create one of the largest mixed-use communities in San Francisco's history in Mission Bay, called Mission Rock. The development has been a decade in the making, and it's bringing thousands of new housing units, a ton of which are going to be affordable units, acres and acres of open park spaces, new lab space, office space, retail space. All of that is going to service the community here. Phase 1 of the development is nearly complete, and it's already bringing so much traffic to the area. The newest residential towers there are Canyon and Verde, tall red and green stacks of apartment complexes at Mission Rock. Both of these new construction buildings opened within the past year and have a ton of amenity spaces like rooftops that overlook the water and the ballpark. My favorite part about Mission Rock is China Basin Park, a new park that just opened in San Francisco. There's a bayfront trail, stadium seating, space for food trucks. There's a dog run, really beautiful landscape space, awesome for hanging out like right before walking over to a game. It's literally right across the street from Oracle Park, and it's just down the road from Chase Center and Thrive City. The entire Mission Rock area, the development that's going up here, used to just be a parking lot that serviced Oracle Park. It was a very underutilized space. So what you see here now has basically taken the place of an old parking lot, and they're ripping out other spaces that were old parking lots to create the next phases of this development. So it's going to be an incredible space and really change the landscape of the entire neighborhood. It's great to see the progress that they've made here, and I'm super excited to see all that's coming next. And there's also a ton being developed immediately adjacent to the Mission Rock neighborhood down the road. You have Brookfield Partners developing Pier 70 into a similar mixed-use community, and then down the road from that, you have Associate Capital that's redeveloping a now-defunct power station, the Potrero Power Station site. Both of these are going to bring thousands of new housing units, acres and acres of open park spaces, and millions of square feet of office space, retail space, lab space, hospitality space, you name it. So this whole area is getting a complete transformation. So if you're buying into Mission Bay now, you're not only buying into what's currently there, you're buying into the vision for the next 20, 30 years of what this neighborhood is going to look like, and it's incredible. And I'm not the only one that is betting on Mission Bay. True to Mission Bay's origins, there are a ton of different modern industries that are betting on the area. Visa just opened up its brand new headquarters at Mission Rock. Their new building is beautiful. OpenAI recently leased 500,000 square feet of office space at Uber's Mission Bay headquarters. They also leased over 300,000 square feet of office space at Old Navy's former headquarters, also in Mission Bay. RH, Restoration Hardware, recently opened their new flagship gallery at Pier 70, right next to Mission Rock. They restored an historic steel manufacturer's office building and turned it into one of the most beautiful furniture showrooms, restaurant, wine bars, rooftops that we have in the entire city. The Golden State Warriors just leased 50,000 square feet of office space at Mission Rock. There's a gigantic hospital that was recently built, UCSF Medical Center, in Mission Bay. It's one of the most sought after destinations right now for new office tenants in the city. They're flocking to areas in and immediately surrounding Mission Bay because of everything that's going on here. So this area is just going to continue to grow and continue to get better as time goes on. So you're probably wondering, with all these new amenities, the great weather, the walkability, all these shops and restaurants, the arenas, everything nearby, its proximity to transport, what does housing cost here? And it might actually surprise you, it's actually a lot less than the average cost of housing in San Francisco. Over the past 2 years, the average condo in Mission Bay has sold for a little under $1.1 million, about $987 per square foot. That's less than the average condo in San Francisco broadly, which sold over that time period for about $1.28 million, about $1,020 per foot. Obviously, $1 million isn't cheap, but relatively speaking to what else is available, especially when you consider what's around here, what amenities are available to you both in these condo buildings and the surrounding area, it's relatively less expensive. It is substantially cheaper to buy here than in a lot of other parts of the city on average. And because a lot of these buildings have amenities, HOA fees tend to range a little bit higher, a little over $400 per month, going all the way up to over $1,600 a month. Really is going to depend on the type of building that you're in, what amenities there are, how old the building is, how many units are in the building. But you should expect in an amenity building to spend close to, if not more than, $1,000 a month. Well, there you have it. That's the scoop on the Mission Bay neighborhood of San Francisco. In my opinion, it is one of the most exciting, most transformative neighborhoods in all of San Francisco right now. Definitely one to keep an eye on. If you're thinking about relocating and unsure whether Mission Bay or another neighborhood fits your particular lifestyle, definitely reach out to me. I'd be happy to be a resource for you and talk you through it. I moved to the Bay Area over a decade ago. I've lived all over the city, and I've helped clients move here from all over the country, so I'd be happy to help you. I'll put my contact information in the description below. You can reach out to me anytime. And before you go, if you want to learn more about the massive new mixed-use communities that I talked about in this video, Mission Rock, Pier 70, and the Potrero Power Development, I've got a separate video going over all of those developments. I'll link that up top in the description below as well. Definitely worth checking out. And if you like videos just like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I make videos about this stuff every single week. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.